In June 2026, the attack did not look like a Hollywood hack. No flashing zero day, no ransomware note on a dark website. Just logins, real emails, real passwords, fired at Chick-fil-A One again and again. Within days, a loyalty app millions trust became breach paperwork filed across America. This is how stolen passwords walked through the front door. Tonight's failure file is not about a company server getting cracked open. It is about something quieter, more common, more dangerous at consumer scale. Account takeover, the kind that starts on someone else's breach dump and ends inside your rewards app. Chick-fil-A is not a faceless cloud vendor. It is a cultural brand. Over 3,000 restaurants. Lines that wrap the block. A rewards program wrapped around daily habits. Chick-fil-A One was built for convenience. Names, emails, points, partial payment details. People forget what sits in that app. Attackers do not. Loyalty programs look harmless. A free sandwich here, a mobile order there, under the surface. They are identity wallets, membership numbers, mobile pay handles, stored balances, last 4 digits of a card. Enough to fish, enough to fraud, enough to hurt, trust, even when dollar amounts look small. Security teams call it credential stuffing. Plain English. Thieves lift usernames and passwords from other breaches. Then they test those same passwords on your next account. Reuse once and the door opens somewhere else. Chick-fil-A said these credentials came from a third-party source, not stolen out of its own password vault. This is industrial password guessing. Automated tools, huge list scraped from older breaches and stealer logs. Rapid attempts against a website and a mobile app. No genius required, only volume, persistence, and the simple fact that millions of people still recycle the same login across banking, shopping, email, and food apps. One leak becomes many doors. Between June 17th and June 19th, 2026, those tools hit Chick-fil-A's website and mobile app. Suspicious logins lit up certain Chick-fil-A One accounts. The company later described an automated attack using emails and passwords obtained elsewhere. 3 days, quiet, effective. Here is the first turn. If the passwords were not stolen from Chick-fil-A itself, who failed first? The guest who reused a login or the platform that let stuffing land? Hold that question. The filings get more specific. Investigation took weeks of quiet work. On July 13th, 2026, Chick-fil-A determined unauthorized parties may have accessed information inside those accounts. That date matters. Suspicion became a legal finding. Disclosure became inevitable. By July 20th, notices moved. Letters to customers, filings with State Attorneys General, USA Today, Newsweek, Bleeping Computer, Security Week. The story left the security beat and entered living rooms. The chicken sandwich brand was now a breach headline. What sat in those accounts mattered. Names, email addresses, Chick-fil-A One membership numbers, mobile pay numbers, loyalty credit balances, last 4 digits of credit or debit cards. In some cases, phone numbers, addresses, and birth dates. If guests had saved them, tiny fields, seriously identity fuel. Be precise. Reporting did not describe a classic ransomware siege of restaurant kitchens. It described account takeover on the loyalty layer. Different blast radius, still real harm, still real notices, still real trust damage. State filings made the scale concrete. Texas reported 2,182 residents. Massachusetts listed 39. A Maine Attorney General filing shared with bleeping computer put the national total at 13,322. Soft source, that national figure. Main AG filing, as reported. 13,000 loyalty accounts, one reused password problem. The map was wider than one state. Notices and coverage pointed to residents across places like Iowa, Maryland, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Vermont, Rhode Island, and the District of Columbia, alongside the Texas and Massachusetts counts. A national brand, a multi-state paper trail. Second turn, 13,000 sounds contained next to a mega breach, until you remember what stuffing is. Every successful login is a person. Every drained balance is a habit violated. And Chick-fil-A had seen this movie before. Chick-fil-A's customer response moved quickly on the surface. Impacted accounts were logged out, payment methods removed, balances restored where attackers spent rewards. Extra rewards added as apology. Guests were told to change passwords and make them unique. That is the right triage after account takeover. Triage stops the bleeding. It does not explain why the same wound opened again. Public statements stressed a limited number of accounts. Soft language, careful framing, third-party source, limited impact. Commitment to trust. The mechanism underneath stayed blunt. Password reuse, hitting a brand built on everyday trust. Here is the scar that changes the story. Between December 2022 and February 2023, another stuffing wave hit Chick-fil-A One. In March 2023, the company disclosed it. Reporting put that earlier incident above 71,000 customers. Newsweek cited 71,473. Same attack class, same loyalty surface, different year. Sequels in cyber are not entertainment, they are evidence. If stuffing worked once at this scale, defenders had a warning, guests had a warning, the internet had a warning. 2026 asks whether anyone treated that warning as permanent. For customers, this is not abstract cyber risk. It is a rewards balance that moved without them. A card ending they recognize on a notice letter, an email that suddenly feels unsafe. Loyalty turns habit into data. Data turns habit into a target. That is the human cost under the filings. Retail apps face this storm constantly. Bots do not need a breakthrough exploit. They need 1 week reused password. A company can harden servers and still lose the login war if account defenses stay thin. Rate limits, bot fights, step-up challenges, multi-factor prompts, unique passwords, password managers. This is the boring war that decides who gets stuffed and who files the next notice. Third turn. The filings prove impact. They do not publish the full defensive postmortem. How many attempts failed? How many passwords worked? What controls changed after 2023? Those answers stay mostly inside the company. Open questions remain. Will stronger multi-factor rules finally stick on Chick-fil-A One? Will guests actually stop recycling passwords? Will the next wave be smaller or just quieter until the next AG filing? Impact is documented, the lesson is not. The lesson is ugly and simple. Your password is not a secret if it already leaked somewhere else. Brands can say third-party source. Guests can say it was just points. Attackers only need the overlap. That overlap is where failure files live. If you use Chick-fil-A One or any rewards, treat this as a checklist, not a panic. Change the password to something unique. Turn on any available extra verification. Remove stored payment methods you do not need. Watch statements. The breach notice is not the end of your job. It is the start of cleanup. For companies, the corporate lesson is harder. Saying third-party source is factually careful. It is also incomplete. High-traffic login surfaces will be stuffed. The question is whether detection, lockouts, and step-up authentication arrive before 13,000 notices do. After 2023, that question was already on the table. Media coverage did its job. It translated AG filings into plain English. It connected 2026 to 2023. It reminded viewers that credential stuffing is not rare, it is routine. Brands hope you forget between sandwiches. Failure files exist so you do not. This was never only a Chick-fil-A story, it is a dependency story. Your password on one site becoming a key on another. June's logins were quiet. July's notices were loud. 2023 was the warning. 2026 was the echo. Soft source, the big numbers, state filings and reporting from Bleeping Computer, Security Week, Newsweek and USA Today. Failure files. Case closed. Until the next stuffing.